Come on in here, peeps. Come on in here. So glad to be back with you. This is your girl, Nurse Gina, on Let's Talk About It. And I'm so glad to be with you today. We're going to jump right in. Today we're talking about death, dying, and grieving. Death, dying, and the grieving process. What prompted this on today is an article that I came across recently. And I'm going to put the article up here, and you can go to my Facebook page. Let's talk about it. The whole article is on there. What happened is a 32-year-old was at her mother's funeral. Her mother had passed away from COVID, and her 32-year-old daughter was there at the graveside. And as they were lowering her mom into her grave, she clutched her chest and said, "I'm having a hard time breathing. I'm having chest pain," and collapsed. And unfortunately, they could not get her pulses back. They could not restart her heart. They could not get her to start breathing again. And it was so sad when I read the entire article on, what happened with her mom. Her mom did have comorbidities. But when you are in the middle of a pandemic where the whole country is on lockdown, right? And then on top of that, you have something else that happens. And it's like, how do I cope with all of this? And a lot of people are struggling to cope. A lot of people are struggling to cope. So this may be a 2-session. Let's talk about it, because I really want people to get the information that they need. If not for you, maybe for someone else. Because let me tell you something. I know that I struggle. I struggle with it, because of the uncertainty of it all. Okay. It's just every day you wake up, it's something new, and then on top of that, what I thought about is, what about those patients with cancer? What about those patients that have to get dialysis, 3 times a week to live? Okay. What about people that need blood transfusion? Your anemic patients that need blood transfusions to live. What's going on with them? So when we talk about death and dying and the grieving process, I want to first start off by saying we all are going to go through that journey. We're all are going to die. When I think about it, and I think about it often now as I've gotten older, when I think about dying, I always say, man, am I really going to die? Because you're so full of life. I'm looking outside at the beautiful day. I'm looking at my friends and my families, what they're doing. I'm going to work every day. I have so many different relationships. I have a child that I love, and I'll say, am I really going to leave here? And then the uncertainty is we don't know when. That's one thing we don't know. So when we think about death and dying, that's the first thing we need to understand, is that we all are going to go through that journey.